Now tell me why it took me 5 to 6 business years to figure out how the heck everybody was learning TikTok dances so quickly. Like, I felt like I would be scrolling in my app, scrolling, and then I see a wave. Everybody's doing this dance. I just woke up and suddenly everybody knows the same routine. It's choreographed. They look great doing it. And I got to a point where I just said, I'm not hip enough. I'm not going to learn it fast enough. As soon as I learn it, the next trend is going to come out. So I want to break down for anybody who is late to the game, like me, took 5 to 6 business years to figure out how the heck everybody was doing this. So I'll tell you how I learned. First of all, I surveyed a few young adults. I surveyed some of my dance friends from class, and they're like in their early 20s, late teens. I just said, I don't understand TikTok. I'm going to be using TikTok as a catch-all for any short form dance videos, because I know there's YouTube Shorts, Facebook, Instagram Reels. So we'll just call them TikTok for the time being. The point is, how do people suddenly, like in 24 hours, all know and perform the same dance? Like, what's the deal? So hey guys, it's Angie, and today I want to talk to you about TikTok dance trends and virality of dancing and all of that. I think some of you might have heard of some of the latest news that's been going around with Miranda Derrick and BDash with that documentary on Netflix. If you haven't, go look it up. We're not really going to touch on that too much, but I do want to talk about the viral nature of a choreographed dance. How does it seem that in a matter of 24 hours, people are doing the same choreographed dance and they are like great rhythm? What happened? What storm took over? And how did these people already know how to do the routine? I consider myself a pretty good dancer. I take classes. I've been taking classes for almost 5 years now. And I struggle to comprehend how this can happen in such a short amount of time. So imagine you are scrolling and you see people are doing the same dance and you're wondering, how the heck are they doing? Is there a secret out there that we don't know about? Do you just keep watching it and your body absorbs the dance and then you're ready to perform it? So I thought maybe somebody out there still is confused and baffled by this, and I wanted to do a little bit of commentary on how this works, or how I've come to learn that this works. And now I know a little bit more because as I've taken dance classes, I've become friendly with a bunch of other dancers, and many of them are younger. They're in their early 20s. Some of them are in their late teens, still starting out college at the start of their life. And I wanted to know, I just hung out with them sometimes after class and just asked, hey guys, how are you doing that? Like, how do you know this routine? Because if I were to do a TikTok, I often need to have a reference video, similar to if I were to do a choreographed dance. And when you see my fancy videos on my feed, you can see that my eyes are averting because we have a spotter. We have someone, the teacher, the choreographer is dancing right in front of us. It's always better to know it in your body and in your heart instead of relying on the teacher, because if you look at and you rely on a spot, you'll always be a little bit delayed because you have to mentally process what the move is. It's a lot better if you actually really know it and you can perform on the beat. Something I'm still working on, but I surveyed a handful of young people and was like, how do you guys know this dance? Like, what do you do? Do you watch it? Do you have to have a separate device? Are you playing the music outside of your phone? So I'm going to break it all down. Now, so I think I noticed that there are a couple qualities of what makes a dance viral. Number one, the dance has to be kind of easy to learn. So I think that is why you'll find that a lot of the dances for TikTok are pretty simple. You know, they're just like a 1-2 beat. It's nothing crazy. Things have progressed to more advanced choreography, but for the most part, a lot of the TikTok dances are all a remix. There's that documentary about how everything in the world is a remix. All music is a remix of something else. All art is a remix of previous artwork. And pretty sure, like, it's clear as day that all TikTok dance moves are repetitive. They look really similar, repetitive motions. So for instance, the dance that I just did, there was like a jig, that was 8 counts. So instead of just doing it a 1, 2, you did it 8 in a row. So if you can do a move and learn a move and repeat it and just kind of like find your own rhythm and style, then it starts to feel a little bit more like you have variety to the dance. I hope that this isn't too dated. Like, I hope I'm not 10 years too late to the game to explain this, because I feel this might not be for you. If you already know and you're like, what is she talking about? I recently discovered this. So if anybody is very late to the game, then here, this is for you. And we're not about to talk about how TikTok is going away. The nature of a viral dance trend is not going to go away. TikTok may go away. I think the last news I heard about it was that it's slated for 2025 to truly disappear from the US, but who knows? They've been saying it for years. Regardless, let's say TikTok goes away. We have seen the pattern and the enthusiasm for learning viral dance trends as a pattern like bleed into YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, Facebook. So it's all there. It's not going to go away. And how is everybody dancing? Like, I want to know, how is everybody dancing? I think I'm a pretty good dancer, but suddenly everybody's learning these dances so quickly. So let's talk about it. How does a dance trend become? Like, what is that? So how does it come to be? So first of all, you get a viral song. And sometimes those support each other. The song could become viral because of the dance trend. And a dance trend is usually supported by a viral song. So a song needs to be really catchy, something that most people can dance to, not too complex, kind of a simple rhythm or something that you could easily dance to. And then a lot of the moves are going to be repetitive or remixed. So repetitive in two ways. It could be repetitive in the sequence, in the routine, like you're doing multiples of the same movement in that short 15 seconds. It's also repetitive in a variety from other TikTok dances. And what I'm going to use that as a catch-all term for here. So if I say TikTok, it's mostly about if there's a viral dance trend, I'm going to call it a TikTok for the purpose of this video, just to keep it simple. So 2 things, simple moves, catchy song, kind of repetitive. And now I want to talk about some basics on how you actually prepare to do this. Now, this is going to be a primer. If anybody has learned a TikTok dance, you already know this. If you're kind of like in the middle, not sure how, please stay. So what I was asking some of my, the people that I surveyed, the survey says that you learn it 100 times over. You watch it and you learn it and you practice and you practice. And it's not until like the 100th time that you post. Now, that's interesting because I thought like maybe there was some trick, that there was a setting in my phone where I could watch them and it's only filming me. But to my knowledge, the only way that you can film and still see the person that's performing the trend is if you were to have them show up at the end. Hey guys, this is Editing Angie hopping on to say a little bit more about what I mean. When I say that the video is going to appear at the end, I don't mean it will appear at the tail end of the video. I mean it will appear at the outcome and the output of what you would want to post and share around. So there are options. You can do them stacked, you can do in the corners, you can go side by side, but if you're going to record in-app and use a reference like that, they're always going to appear in your output. The few ways that I've known or thought you might do this in the past is that you would have something to look at. I would play it from my phone and I could see the person. I was like, oh, I really like the moves that they're doing. I want to do that too. I'm learning it. I'm ready to film. I've done it a few times. I feel decent about it, but I still want to be able to watch just in case. Well, you can't do that built into the apps, and you really can't play music out loud while you're filming from your phone. So that means you need to have a second device. I could be playing the music from my computer. Now, if I choose to use the in-app recording, there will be a watermark from the original app. So you won't be able to remove that, or it'll be kind of annoying, or there's some audio mishap. So in order to truly be able to do this effectively, you either need to do it with a second device, just either to reference, or you can use in-app and kind of get over the fact that there will be a watermark. and who is the creator, who is the mother of the dances, right? So it's actually just people like you and me. Maybe not me, but there are people out there who are just really creative, and maybe they're just freestyling a little bit and then they'll redo the dance because they're like, oh, this is simple and easy and fun. It's a cool song. I'll film it and I post it. And then just as the algorithm works, it surfaces up some people that think that they're popping off, and then, ew, did I say popping off? Okay, let's scratch that. That mother algorithm will surface up a video and people will learn how to do it. Now, there are people that support how to break down the dance, and usually it's not even the original creator, the original dance creator. So the trend right now is that if anyone is doing the dance, they'll put in their caption or in their comments DC for dance credit. There's also something similar that I've noticed for TC for trend credit. But DC is the most common term that I found, dance credit, because what we had found is that a lot of like Charli D'Amelio, Addison Rae, so young women like that were getting a lot of fame and attention from repeating dance routines and performing dances that were originally choreographed by someone else on the app. So there became a wave of people who would emphasize DC, so you can put the dance credit and refer back and reference back to the original creator. So first of all, find the dance. Find the dance that you want to do, save it. For me, in my Instagram Reels, I have a saved section where I'll say dance trends to try, and that's where I keep them. And then sometimes I even categorize them into like dance trends hard, dance trends easy, dance trends with friends, just so that I can refer back to them. There's not a setting in the app. There's not something that you're going to pull up on the side. Maybe if you want the audio, but there isn't really a big trick to it. So you practice and then you film. So everybody's suddenly a dancer, and this is pretty much why. Some of the terms that I've learned about dance are texture, milking, making something really staccato. So texture is just a word to describe if you're filling space. I think it's a little bit similar to like if you think of friction or sound, like you want to kind of fill space and have texture. Like, for example, if I would say that opposes staccato or like a really clear. So if I were to just wave my hand and I wanted it to be textured, I might feel like that's underwater. And if I wanted to milk it even more, I might add more flow. And then staccato would be like Mr. Roboto. So that's a really quick example. I am not the best person to teach you these things, but in learning dance classes online and in person for several years, I've picked up some of the terminology. Another thing that I've noticed is a lot of people who are doing dance trends do it very calm. I'm struggling because I want to get hype. I want to get excited. I want people to see my dance routine. What I've noticed is that the people who are doing really well when performing dance trends are relaxed. They're allowing they're really subtle with it. They have just like a really relaxed and cool girl, cool guy vibe. I think full out really works well for other people too, but just in general terms, I've noticed that a more relaxed feel, like if you think of dancing big and filling up and taking more space, whereas dancing kind of cool, mysterious, chill, and inward. I want to go break down a little bit further about having multiple devices. I know for a fact that if you film in-app for Instagram or you film in-app for TikTok, it's the most convenient, but both of those are going to have watermarks. TikTok's watermark, they move it. You can't really crop it out of the side unless you're really far back from the camera. And they also have an end screen. So it has little sound, it adds a little sound. For instance, a 15-second TikTok trend, you download it from TikTok, now it's 17 seconds. And you can trim that if you're going to repost it somewhere. For Instagram, what they have is a stable view, but it also changes colors. It will be rainbow color gradient and then gray, rainbow, gray, rainbow, gray. So you could crop it, but it's really kind of like right in the middle of the frame. So neither of these are really great for having unbranded content across all platforms. So the best way to do that is more time intensive. If this really matters to you, what you'll need to do is record outside of the app. So I might use my phone, but you can't play music. I don't think you can play music while you're not in the app. So if you really don't want to have branded content, what you'll need to do is record on your phone, and I might play the song on my TV, out of a speaker, out of my laptop, and then what you then have to do is resync the audio and find the perfect timing of the song in each platform. It is very time intensive. I think a lot of people are just downloading it from TikTok or Instagram and taking the benefit of having that audio already synced up compared to having to resync that audio in 3 platforms. That is way too much. Okay, I just had to fact check myself to see if there was a way to play the audio from Spotify or from the music app from Apple while recording yourself so that you could hear from the computer and then record yourself.
All right, so first you're gonna wanna open Spotify and play your song. So you'll hear my song playing. Now I'm gonna open my camera app. You want your camera app to be on photo, and then you're gonna hold down the photo button, swipe it, and now you can see it's filming a video while the music's still playing.
So to my knowledge, in order to truly get something without that piece of branded content, you need 2 devices. And then you have to resync it back to the audio or just go with the music that's out loud. If you're recording something with the music that's out loud, it always sounds weird or off or really distant. Maybe the volume's too low or gross. So those are the things that I've noticed. So just to recap, we talked about what makes a dance trend viral, like some of the qualities of a viral dance trend. And then we talked about how people actually film it. And then finally talked about some bonus terminology and techniques. Practice makes perfect. Do it over and over. It's kind of annoying. You feel like you'll be late to the game. But the more you do it, and I say go for it. You don't have to have it perfect. Everybody does it. Everybody starts from somewhere, right? A few things that I failed to mention in terms of when you're trying to pick up the choreography, besides the most obvious one, which is to watch and to practice. If you still need a little bit more support, I just wanted to jump in with a few other tips. Maybe you're still struggling to pick it up. I think they're actually really difficult. In a lot of ways, I think a dance class, even a beginner or intermediate dance hip-hop class, which is an hour long, is easier than picking up choreography from a TikTok because you have an instructor telling you step by step on how to do it. Whereas TikToks, you really just have to watch and learn. There are some exceptions. There are YouTube channels dedicated to breaking down TikTok trends, and they themselves are not even the creators. So this is just so fascinating to me that a trend can get so viral that there are people, creators on all platforms, short form and long form, but there are dedicated people who follow trends and then break down how step by step how to do that. Now you can watch things in a long format or you can watch them in a short view. If it's short, there tends to be like emojis. So the emojis will break down and they're like little quick snippets and it will show you, okay, do this step now, this step, this step, this step. There are resources out there. At the end of the day, the biggest takeaway is in order for you to retain that choreography, you actually have to do it. And happy dancing, everybody. To each their own. There are plenty of ways. I just wanted to share a remedial primer for anybody who was curious. And maybe it's just for me because I'm just fessing up to how behind the times I am. But hopefully this helps like somebody out there. Thank you again. All right. Bye.